Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Representative DeLisio, for your comments. It's always been a pleasure working with you on some of the issues that we've been successful on, and I think that is a good model as to how we should approach things. Chairman Markosik, Chairman Adolph, I want to thank both of you for the opportunity to come before you. And as is my custom, I want to come and talk about the ALS line item as well as many of the other disease-specific and healthcare-related line items because of the importance that they have in the budget. For those of you who may not know, I do believe that we need to do things differently here in state government, and specifically with how we take care of our long-term and terminally ill individuals. And when you look at how we need to approach that, I would simply offer that all too often state government wants to rush and say we simply need more money to fix a problem, when in actuality, I think that there are some uniquely different ways that we can approach things. And I would offer that many of these line items in the budget help to do that, and that is why I've historically supported these line items. On a personal level, obviously, ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease is a very important issue for me. As you know, both of my parents did have that disease, so I saw firsthand the impacts that that had in terms of long-term care, disruption to home life, and the impact on social services and myself and my sister when we were younger. The good news is we had a strong network of friends, family, neighbors, our church, and our community that were able to help us, and have always been eternally grateful for that. And that is truthfully one of the reasons why I ran for public office, was an opportunity to say thank you to my friends and neighbors who helped us. And when you look at the budget, these costs will continue to climb. Specific to Lou Gehrig's disease, we have consistently provided the highest number of National Guard troops on the war on terror, and our military veterans are twice as likely to come down with Lou Gehrig's disease. For those of you unfamiliar with the disease, it's a debilitating disease that has no known cause, no known cure, and treatment is only successful at lengthening life, not reversing the disease. The good news is there's been an abundant amount of research in this particular area because of most notably the Ice Bucket Challenge recently. But the fact remains that historically and then prospectively looking forward, we will have a very large patient population, most likely directly linked to our veterans population, for individuals who have a high likelihood of coming down with this disease. When you look at the healthcare line items that are in the budget, I would offer that it's a different approach on how to spend our state money. We can choose to allow these individuals to end up in nursing home facilities or on Medicaid. That could cost the taxpayers as much as $91,954 per person per year. And yet, with a minimal investment of state dollars in a variety of unique programs, and I give the governor credit in his approach to long-term care specifically, he's obviously looking for a different way to do this. And I would offer that these line items are a supplement to that. But we need to restore the cuts through his veto from last year, as well as look at it prospectively going forward into the next budget year. Because on average, it only costs $470.95 per person to provide equipment or home modifications or other items that allow individuals to be cared for in place, in their homes, by their family, or by workers who come into the home for short periods of time. I would offer that all of these not only are a better approach in terms of outcomes, but also for us as policymakers as we look where to spend our scarce resources and financial resources that we have, which are ultimately always the taxpayers. We need to be good stewards of those dollars, and these programs give us that opportunity. To broaden out to many of the other research lines, and you all have been very supportive of not just the ALS line item, and I thank you for that, but there's the lupus and the biotech and the research and the cancer research line items, all of which play similar roles. But in addition to that, we have the critical access hospital line items, the trauma center line items, and the burn center line items. These are line items in the budget that in terms of whole dollars don't represent a very large percentage, but they do represent a very large impact to those individuals who need those services at that time. So I would encourage us collectively to continue to look at these line items as we move forward and have budget discussions, because I believe it is truly a more effective way to better utilize and more efficiently utilize the tax dollars that we've been entrusted with. So to the extent that the support has been there previously, I thank you. and I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to share that. And as always, I'll make myself available for questions about any of the line items. Obviously, this is the one that I'm most intimately involved with, given my family history, but I think they're all equally important and should be revisited very soon. Thank you for your time, Mr. Chairman.